Jurgen, first of all the best for Christmas.
And for you, thank you very much.
It was nice to see you out on the training pitch with Thiago yesterday as well, along with James Milner and Shaqiri. Are all three available for the weekend? And how much of a boost is it to have them coming back?
So Thiago made his first steps back towards team training. He's not involved in the full session, but makes good steps. And so after, unfortunately, a long time, he's out now. We will not rush it. The other guys are further or closer. Shaq, anyway, trained really good. And Millie, yesterday and today. Yesterday, full session. Today, then a little bit adapted. But so we have still, it's a new situation for us. We have still 2 more training days until we have to make decision. It looks good. But I don't know. Thiago will not be involved, so he has to be first in full training sessions, and then we start thinking about it. But it's not too far away, I hope.
Looking ahead to the game, obviously Sam Allardyce is still the last Premier League manager to win an away Premier League game at Anfield back in April 2017. What are you expecting from him? What are you expecting from West Brom on Sunday?
Now, of course, it's a tricky one anyway. So we made this morning the analyze, and so it's a mix of Everton when Sam was at Everton, and of course the last game and his first game against Aston Villa. So what I expect is a tough opponent. It was always tough against some Allardyce teams, well organized. Don't make a big fuss of possession or whatever. And in the situation West Brom is in anyway, they go for that will be a proper fight. And Sam is a proven specialist for organizing teams for these kind of fights. So we expect a tough game, obviously.
I have to ask about Mo Salah as well, just following on from those quotes attributed to him last week. What can you say today to allay fears that he's unhappy, and I suppose subsequently any fears over his long-term future with his current deal running to 2023? Is it even time to talk about a new deal for him now?
About the deals, we never speak. Why should we start now? Not with you. So it's and the rest. So Mo is in a good mood. Mo is in a good moment. A really good shape. So that's the most important thing for me. And training. Okay, today we're no cameras, and no, you would have seen him laughing a lot. He enjoyed the session, so that's good as well. And all the rest is for sure nice for all of you to write about, but internally, nothing really.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Vinny. Simon Crabtree from PLP next.
I would say they have a lot more information about us than we have about them. I think because Sam had only a few days before the Aston Villa game. Now he had a full week. That's a big difference as well. Not a lot of changes for the first game. He was in charge, but now obviously they have to replace Livermore. They could change this and they could do it a lot. But that's why, look, most of the time when we prepare a game, we have to use the games they played, the last 3-4 games they played before they meet us or face us. And then we play them and they play a completely different way against us, because it's obviously with the football my boys played in the last couple of years, that a lot of people think to change a few things when they face us. So it's always tricky. But anyway, do it. We do the analyze and we try to get as much information out of it as we can. But we never can be sure. So we focus mainly on the things we can influence, and that's it, pretty much. So hopefully will have the ball a lot. If you have the ball a lot, we have to create. If you create, you have to do that together. If you lose a ball in these moments, you have to be there for counter press, these kind of things. So I prefer knowing a lot about the opponent, but most of the time I don't know a lot because, how I said, they come to us, and when they played 6 times in a row with 4 in the back, they come to Liverpool and they have 5 in the back all of a sudden. So, we will see.
Being number 1 at Christmas is quite a big thing in this country. I'm sure Mariah Carey would tell you that. But you're the first Premier League side that has been number 1 in the Premier League table for 3 successive seasons in Premier League history. So what does that mean right now in terms of everybody, even more so maybe gunning for you? And what does that mean in terms of how you keep the mentality as sharply focused as you did last season going onwards?
First of all, it obviously means you are not automatically champion in May when you are the Christmas leader, whatever. Otherwise, we would have won the league 2 times before, so the 3rd time is not.
Well, of the last 11 to have been top, only twice has that team not gone on to win the title.
Oh, we were one of them.
You were both of them. Sorry.
Wait, since I'm here already.
Only one since you've been here, so we can't blame you for both of those.
So Brendan Rodgers is to blame for the other one.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. Look, it's the best position you can be in a moment, but that's it. That's all. We know how tough it is, how tough it was, how tough it is, how tough it will be. So we didn't even play the half of the season, but probably usually happens round about this time. And so, it's nice, nothing else. And when 2 years ago, when we didn't win the league after being top of the table at Christmas, it was not about a lack of focus or whatever. It was just the quality of the opponents. And this quality is still out there. And nothing really happened so far. We collect a few points, and if we want to do something special this year, then we have to collect even more until the end of the season, and that's what we try. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Simon. We go to James Mountford from BBC Merseyside, then Carl Malcolm from Press Association, Nate Williams, and that will be it for the open section. But James Mountford, Merseyside now.
Oh yeah, that's a lonely experience. I'm not sure the boys are connected. You're always as much connected as you want to be connected. Let me say it like this. So, and the boys are, this group is really strong together. If you are in or out in a moment or with a long-term injury, the group is really, really together. And so it's more now about, of course, finding the right moments. And most of the time so far we had to play with, I think, the 3 or 4 midfielders we had. Now looks like a few are coming back, which is very important. I really hope that we have the choice for a longer time, because then we can really work with it. But you cannot just make then changes because the boys are sitting again on the bench and are available, because rhythm is a very important thing. And now we try to do that with training sessions this week, a very important week for all of them, because we have. Today was the first proper -3 session, I think, since we started again, if I'm right. So -3, 11-11, tactical stuff, full throttle, everything in, pressing, counter-pressing, all the stuff. We didn't have that anymore. And this is like, that's the most similar session you can have to playing a football game. And so these things are really important. And we try that. But the boys are connected. The boys are important. And we will use them. But it will now not be always the case. Don't know which game was it. At Tottenham, when we didn't make a substitution. They were all without rhythm, and the game was really intense and stuff like this. So it was a tricky one. But in the last game now we could make subs, which helps. I think they are all now, especially Ox is now a step further. He trained today. Really had a really good session, and it was over. And it was intense. And then he asked the fitness coach if he can do a little bit more. So there's still something to come. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And there can't be too many teams who've conceded 7 in a league game and still have the best goal difference in the Premier League. I just wonder if that Crystal Palace win almost chalked off that Aston Villa defeat, or do you not really think about that?
Oh yes, I thought about it because 7 is a very a number you don't see that often in football, and you don't want to see it on the one side, and it doesn't happen a lot that you see it on the other side. So no, I after the game immediately thought, so okay, now we cancel that out, which is important. But apart from that, it was not that we mentioned the Aston Villa game constantly to keep the boys going. This game against Crystal Palace is not a benchmark which we now try to do all the time, as much as the other one is not something we talk constantly about it. So it happened. It was a good day. We are very clinical with our chances. The goals were exceptional, and the game was anyway tough, and the boys realized it. That was for me the most important thing. The first half, yes, we were 3-0 up, but it was not a first half for being 3-0 up. This is a first half for maybe 2-2. Yeah, stuff like this. But then how we deal with the situation in the second half was exceptional, I have to say. And so all good. But even the goal difference in the moment is not really important.
Fantastic. Thank you, James. All the best to the sensational Carl Markham.
Sensational. Thanks, Matt. Hi, Jurgen.
Hi.
Sadio's scored his first goal in 10 games against Palace, but no one's really spoke about, the fact that he wasn't scoring. Does that suggest...
I didn't even know it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, so does that suggest sort of that his importance to the team obviously is more than that anyway, but the fact no one was talking about he wasn't scoring goals suggests that he's doing other things as well and was still performing quite well?
Honestly, I would have lost everything if I had to bet on it. How many goals scored Sadio Mane in the last 10 Premier League games? If there would have been as one option to answer one, would have been the last one I would have chosen. I have no idea. He only scored once. So a second ago, we speak about the brilliant goal difference we have now, or the best, not brilliant, but the best in the league. So, and then I realized that one of our best players, one of the best players in the world, didn't score for a while. Yeah, I could just answer with, who cares? He played exceptionally well. He's in really good shape. He's unbelievable difficult to defend. If Sadio has the ball, you need to, as an opponent, you need to put pretty much 2-3 players on that side, and it opens up for us a lot of things. So it's I was not concerned, but scoring then is for the boys obviously really important. How it was then. Now, how Bobby obviously liked it when he scored 2 weeks ago. We spoke about him. Then since then he scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals. I'm not sure. So now if Sadio starts scoring now again, I have absolutely no problem with it. But it was not about his performances. The performances were really, really good.
And just to maintain the goal-scoring theme, Salah has got 13 in 13 Premier League matches, which is his best return in the Premier League at this stage of the season. December, January is usually the time when he seems to kick into another gear. So should we expect more from him? I know the goals have been boosted by penalties this year, but he's operating at a good level.
He is. Yeah. So maybe... So I think it's always just things to talk about. He didn't start the last game. All the things what I heard after about what could be the reason. And then he came on and scored 2. I think in his first season, he didn't start against Stoke, came on and scored 2. So obviously he doesn't need a long time anyway. And yes, in a good moment. It was really, and I hope it stays like this. So that's the most important thing. All the boys were obviously in a good moment. That's why we have the points we have so far. And so not now. It's much more important that we really keep going because everybody knows that the toughest period of the season is now ahead of us. So it's the Christmas period, which is always a tough one this year as well. So we have to make sure that we get through this with the right results.
Thank you, Carl. All the best to you as well. And just before we go to the final question in the Open, we'll be coming to the embargoed section for the dailies next.
In a good family, in a good working environment, the more you stick together. So that's how it is. That's how it is. Do you want to fight against it or do you accept it? All these kind of things. And the boys, how I said, we have a pretty impressive group here, and they find always a way and a reason to fight against it, and that's what we did so far, and that's what we will keep doing.